Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Patara with you today. We're cooking chili. So, I've shown you how to make chili before, but we're going to do it again. But this time, we're going to do it inside on the Lopi. The reason I'm doing this is because my good old sweetheart, Aunt Wanda, as I call her down in Mississippi, they are cooking on their wood stove. Okay, I don't know if they're filming this. I hope you're making a video about this. So they're cooking, it's really warm down there, so they don't run a wood stove. I don't think they have to as often as a lot of other folks have to, which in a lot of ways is a blessing, But they are running a wood stove and are cooking from their pantry. So I'm already making chili. And I thought, well, we're going to have some fun today. So also it's going to give a shout out to them because, guys, they have been really good to me. If you haven't checked out Deep South Homestead, you really need to. I've talked about them a bunch of times before, so I'll link them down below. But I'm going to make chili because it's just 33 degrees, and this is the warmest it's going to be for a while. So the wood stove, as you know, I run that Lopi like crazy, and it's heated up. So why would I heat up that thing over there and pay more for my electricity when I've got natural off-grid heat in the house, right? That's the great thing about having a wood stove, a wood cook stove, whatever works for your area. So let's make some chili. Wanda, I'm making some chili. Here we go. Okay, it's going to be quick, easy, and simple. Homemade chili is probably one of the easiest things you can make, like the most bang for your buck, because for what little efforts you put into it and how many leftovers you can make it from or create, oh my gosh, the flavor's tremendous. We'll get to that. Okay, so I'm doing my little slap choppy here. It's actually not that. It's called the Vidalia Chop Wizard. And again, mine is like old as Noah's Ark, okay? I'm hanging on to it, people. So I like a little bit of green pepper. I like all peppers in my chili. But I've got a green pepper. And going with that, I usually freeze a lot of peppers in the summertime. When you have this overabundance of peppers from your garden, you're like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with all that? You chop them up, you freeze them separately in little pieces, and you throw them in a bag. Make chow chow, whatever. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do to end that last thought, because I'm so bad at doing it, the reason being is because I say this every year, because I look at all these peppers in August and September, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and then I remember, come January, I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna want this back, okay? There's a country song for you. Okay, I'm doing just slap that down. Look at that. Hey. The reason I am doing just a little bit of pepper and a little bit of onion, which is now stuck, is because my husband's not a big fan of either in his chili. And if you have them, he wants them thinly sliced. It's in there. All right, so what I'm going to do is go put that in the cast iron, okay? Which is heating up the Dutch oven on top of the Lopi, okay? Did you get that? All right. Okay, so here we have, this is my wood stove. This is the Lopi, okay? The Lopi Liberty. You've seen that. And I'm going to go ahead. This has not been sitting on here very long, okay? I'll scrape it out here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and start cooking up the onions and peppers separate. So they'll start cooking down. And then I'm going to add my homegrown grass-fed steer meat, right? Because that's what's going to make it really good. So let's move to, we're going to let this cook. You can already see it bubbling and simmering and doing all the little hopping around in there. All the things that they do. Adding all the flavor already. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. So those are cooking up. I'm about to add my own beef right here. These are my main ingredients for chili. Again, less is better. You can add other things if you want. Up to you. I don't have direct, proportions because every time I make chili, it's totally different. Most of the time that I make chili, it's from leftover beans from the day before. We've talked about that before. Today, I'm cheating. Hey, whatever. Salt and pepper, no brainer. I also add in cayenne pepper. Cayenne is life. Obviously, it's a no-brainer to have chili seasoning. I get this from the Country Cupboard up in Crossville. That is one of your Mennonite stores. I buy almost all of my spices from there, okay? I really have the main bulk of them from there. It's a no-brainer that you're going to add cumin. I do. I don't know what you do. It's what I do. And I'm telling you right now, I don't care what anybody says, a dash of cinnamon makes all the difference in the world. So all of this is cooking up in there right now. We're going to add the ground beef, get all of that going. Got to get that going first. And then we're going to add the water. We're going to add the beans. I've got canned beans. I've got red beans and black beans. I love mixed beans in my chili. I love different colored peppers. You know, make it a party. But these are my main spices, so you already know. I have at times been known to throw other spices in there just because I felt like it. Oregano or a little bit of that. Some garlic. You can certainly throw in some minced garlic, which I might throw a little bit of that in there with this. But these are always the mainstays, right? Let's do it. Okay, so all of this is cooking up a little bit. You should smell this. I did add just a dash of garlic in there. Some people do, some people don't. Don't sweat the small stuff, okay? So this is going really well. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to add another log on here. It's really hot, but I'm going to make sure that it stays that way, okay? And I know you're going to say, what's the temperature? Well, I'm going to find out here in just a second. I'm going to have to put on the gloves to find out. You just gauge it, folks. You've learned real quick that when you start working with wood heat and you start cooking on wood heat, it trains you, okay? And you can never leave it, and you have to pre-prep before you put anything on here, okay? So this being, you know, a little bit on the slow side of the heat and heating up is good because it's giving me time to prep everything else that I've got going, okay? Right? Absolutely. And Dolly agrees. This is her wood stove, trust me. Woo-wee. We'll set this in here for now, guys, while I'm trying to film to show you what I'm doing. I may have to resituate the wood just a second, but I can't do it while I'm filming. No way I'm going to take a chance getting burned. Serious business. All right, we're going to let that catch and see if it's going to do okay. Let's get back to cooking. Okay, so I'm cooking up the meat. Easy peasy. I've got the gauge right there. It's looking like around 300 or so already on the Lodge cast iron Dutch oven, which by the way is not on a trivet because it has the legs. So when you're cooking with your Dutch ovens and all these different things, as we've talked about before, you have to understand your heat, you have to understand rotation. You're gonna burn it to learn it. And, you know, you figure out what works best, if it has legs, if it needs a trivet. Guys, I'm telling you, it just teaches you. All right, what I'm going to do is put the lid on it and let this simmer up and cook up. And that wood that I just added is definitely catching. And I'm going to tell you what, it is hot in here. Okay, so as you know, this is my den, and we have dust down here on the floor. This was the original room and area right here where the wood cook stove. This is the original kitchen of the house. So my house was built in 1870. So this room that has been transformed into a den, and we added this, okay? Right, we did not pull this out. We've kept this as a backup scenario, okay? So we added this ourselves, had it professionally done actually. Wanted to make sure we were safe on that. And we added it here. So we have two different options for heat, just in case. But we are in the original kitchen of the house. Okay, been working with that. Let me show you what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna come right over here. I'm gonna add in my own home canned tomatoes. Yep, they're from 2014. I'm going to add in 2 cans of beans. I might add 3. Depends on what it looks like. Again, every time you make a soup, maybe something like this, a chili or whatever, you kind of have to eyeball it and gauge it. Gonna add all of my spices in there, okay? And you will see a couple cups of water. Don't know how much I'm gonna add of what, because it depends upon how much of all this makes in terms of consistency and stuff. So this is what we're going for next. Let's cook it up, and we're gonna let it simmer. Let's go. All right, guys, I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna let it heat up some more. Gonna let it simmer. So the goal right now is to watch the fire and check it often. The thing about working with wood heat and cooking on it, as many of you already know, look here, may not have to add that much water, is things are gonna cook really fast, or, you know, you kind of have to just let it do its thing, which that's what makes it good. So I'm going to cover it, and then once it gets going, we'll see how the taste is going, and whatever I feel I need to add, I add it. There's no recipe. There's just things that I like and things that you like, and you just learn to take chances. And guys, as I've told you before, in order to get it good and to understand this way of cooking, as your great-great-granny did or your mamaw did, you gotta burn it to learn it sometimes. It's okay if you fail, because that is where we learn. Boy, it sure is pretty. All right, let's put the lid on. Buddy, you're not supposed to be on the couch, buddy. Are you breaking the rules today while the chili cooks by the warm, cozy fire? No one ever gets to see you do that. Oh, gosh. Oh, lousy. You little scoundrel. So here's the deal. When you get the wood stoves cranking, I'm going to tell you, you're going to feel the heat. Okay? So even if you're cooking outside on the cowboy grill like I did back in all the month of August, you talk about hot. So beware that it's not just about keeping the room warm and toasty. You have to keep the fire consistent enough and warm enough that it will cook your food as well. Mamaw put in a lot of time around the heat. She didn't stand outside the fire very much. All right, it's just cooking away. Okay, so here's what you don't know. So the chili is simmering, and I've had to step away from it to let it continue to simmer. So dinner's going to be delayed because now the weather has changed again, and we might get up to 5 inches of snow. They don't know if it's going to start at 6 o'clock, overnight, or we're going to get it in 1 wave, 2 waves, 3 waves. This is why people in Tennessee completely, and in the South, stress and go crazy over weather. We can handle cold weather. We can handle snow. Heck, we like it. But you just can't predict when you're going to get it. And I hope that's what we get, because every time they tell us we're going to get snow, we get this incredible ice storm. Last year and the year before, if you don't know about that one, holy moly. Now, you folks down in the valley, you didn't get it like we did, okay? So you learn real quick. Ask Miss Homestead lady, you go 12, 14 days with no electricity out of the blue unpredicted. Kind of changes your perspective on life sometimes. So I'm going out to do some snow work, snow prep, all of that, and then we get to enjoy the chili. So Wanda, I just talked to you. You just keep running out from that heat in that tank top if you have to down there in Deep South. We're snow prep. We'll be back. Alrighty, we've had a slow, steady simmer all afternoon and even a delayed dinner because of the weather. So we're going to scoop out some chili here, add some toppings, and enjoy the night. All right, another advantage to having a wood stove. You stay cozy, but you can certainly cook some awesome meals as well. Chili is ready. I've added cheese, sour cream, and I've cut fresh avocados as well. I've got my crackers because I love crackers with chili. And guys, we just appreciate y'all watching. Y'all stay safe and warm out there. You all make sure you go over and visit Danny and Wanda at Deep South Homestead. We're going to put a link down below for their channel. You're going to love everything that you would ever want to learn about homesteading with those favorite people down there in Deep South Mississippi. All right? Y'all take care. We'll talk to you soon.